So good morning, everybody. Yeah, still morning, just about. So thank you, everybody, for the presentation so far and for this opportunity also to our hosts today, ASA, TSG. There's a lot of you involved in it today. So I just wanted to maybe break things down a little bit more for people who see all these funding opportunities and hear about all these different programs that are happening, and to maybe put a human face on it as well in terms of how there is help out there, and by a bit of networking, a bit of information searching, and using the ecosystem that we do have here in Ireland, that hopefully we can make things a bit easier for people and access those funding opportunities and keep up to date with policy. So just a bit of background on our business. So my name is Liz Gavin. I have worked for the bones of 20 years in Brussels for the European Commission, for one being a public-private partnership for aviation research. So always in FP7 or Horizon 2020. So very experienced on the other side of the table, I suppose, in giving out grants, writing work programs, writing calls for proposals, and decided to come back to Ireland back in 2016. And now I run my own business here, where I have a team of proposal writers, and we try to look for opportunities and link up SMEs, but also third level organizations with those funding opportunities. So there's a short spiel on our business. I suppose, having sat in Brussels, I saw how the system worked and how different companies, big or small, networked the system and were able to take advantage of the opportunities there. So I wanted to see how I could maybe pass on some of my knowledge and capacity to companies here to help them to access some of this funding. So we specialise in a few different areas, I suppose. We've had success in different areas. So clean tech, Agri-Tech, bioeconomy, aviation because of my previous life, and medtech because Ireland's very, very active in the medtech area. So we've been involved in quite a number of those as well. So our basic two lines of service are proposal writing, so proposal development, I'll talk about that in a second, and also project administration. So in my previous life, I would have headed up teams who would have taken in the financial claims on the different grants. So I know the rules, I suppose, well. I know what they're looking for when people are submitting their claims, and how the whole system works from that point of view. So we're very happy to help projects who have been awarded as well on that side. So maybe just quickly to give an overview of what all this, when you are sitting down to write a funding application, what are the kind of elements that we would help you with. So it's important to know for any proposal that you are writing, what is the background today, in fairness, from different speakers. And here in our ecosystem in Ireland, we really do try to help each other and learn as much as we can if we're applying for things from people who know. Then the eligibility criteria, obviously. So some of these calls, you need other member states involved. Sometimes you don't. It just depends on the call, especially for the cascade funding, the eligibility criteria, perhaps than in the Horizon 2020 or in the future Horizon Europe calls. And then obviously the funding rate, is it co-funded, is it fully funded, depending on the project and depending on the program. So we'll identify all those ideas or those criteria for you and go through it and explain it in layman's language, basically. And then we'll talk to you about your idea, of course, how it can match or not the call. We've had cases where people would come and say, oh, I think this is ideal for me, and actually it isn't, and we'll tell them that from the beginning. But then we'll keep an eye on funding calls coming out and alert them when something more appropriate comes along. And then during the actual proposal development, you'll always be asked, obviously, for the objectives of your project, where the money is going to be spent. And then the big one for the EU is, what impact is your project going to have? And you have to explain those really well. But part of our work is to help you to express that and give you some ideas and show you some examples of other impacts, and just to feed your ideas. Because what we find a lot is people have great ideas, but they haven't expressed them out, and you just need to verbally express it for us most of the time. And we will then try to get it down on paper. If you have background documents, of course, we'll use those, and your website and that, but we'll try and help you. And then the implementation of any proposal is around how you're actually going to spend the money, what's it going to be spent on, what are the concrete tasks you're going to work on. So I suppose our day-to-day is writing proposals and doing project administration. So we have the time to dedicate to writing it properly. We're not jumping like you are between your day-to-day life and all of the pressures on that to just keep your business running or keep your office running. So we are there to just do that. And we will keep an eye as well on the funding landscape in general. So we would have clients in our community who keep us kind of on their books to keep an eye on funding opportunities as well. We have good ideas around how to present what you're looking for and the kind of partners you need. And then we would be, as I said, experienced in financial implementation. So we would be able to advise you on your budget and how the implementation. I suppose a lot of this is about building your story, explaining why your solution is a good one, how we can find an opportunity to match it into, and that's where we come in. Just again to maybe repeat what others have said this morning, maybe a bit, but I really want to make this point, because when I was in Brussels, I can tell you that the networking and the ecosystem over there is very, very different to what we have here in Ireland. And what we have here in Ireland is very, very special. We have quite a tight community of people who want to help each other. And if they don't have the money for you, they definitely have a contact for you or a signpost. And I think everyone on the panel this morning, but everyone in the wider ecosystem, would have that to say. And I have to say we're very lucky, because it doesn't work like that in every EU country, and it doesn't work like that even in Brussels itself. So do connect into the ecosystem, do use these kind of opportunities and look out for them going forward as well, because that's how you'll see Ken in the next presentation. One of the ways he managed to get into this was through networking, and just keep on banging on doors and trying to find out information to get through to the next stage. Social media is very active on this. Twitter, I mean, we're all the people here are on Twitter. We're tweeting as much as we can. We're trying to keep people up to date with various things that are happening, and in advance. There's no point in finding these things out too late. Tell us your ideas, express your interest, put your hand up and tell us, and we'll try to help. Do keep it simple and try to benefit from the opportunities that are out there. That's all for me. I'll leave you with my closing slide. Thanks, Ashley.